Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at Mandala Playbook. It's an early access 0.13a by Munkao. This is something I'm very glad that exists. Ever since the Thousand Island thing kind of broke apart, I was kind of hoping that they would do something that would stay in that wonderful mythic Southeast Asia type feel, and they did a good job. Here we go. We have a system here that is heavily inspired by Into the Odd, Cairn, Mouse Ritter, Liminal Horror, Runcairn, Knave, and Maze Rats. Really cool stuff. In Troika too. Really cool stuff. As we can see here, there's a lot of good inspiration here. The world is a beautiful and wondrous place, using the Into the Odd rules, which I'll go over at some point. Very simple, 3 stats. I was excited. All right, so here we go. You can see that you are part of the meddlers. As such, you get involved, you must make money, and you prioritize guild orders. Really cool stuff. There's a couple nice little illustrations of the different types of badges and things worn by meddlers, even of different guilds. Simple things, making character as a really good name generator here. Again, this would be good with Knave also, with all the random generation that is in there. Here you choose what type of folk you are. There really isn't any difference. However, you know, some of these things have claws, so you have claws or big teeth. But it might be hard to, like, you know, hide or sneak around if you're a bear, because people can, like, if there's no other bears in the area, well, then people will know that you're the bear that did things. So we also have skills. This was a little interesting. I didn't know how this was going to work out. You have a 1d4 where you roll and you either get fighter, magic, healing, or thieving. Whenever you're getting skills, kind of cool things, lots of fun things about, you know, food, song, dance, all these little things that your characters can learn. So like simple things are like fighting. With fighting ward, like you roll 1d6 on this chart if you roll fighting. And you might have learned this from being in dealing with like boxers or other things growing up, where you can intimidate people really easily just by like showing off. Or you make a really good workout meal that gives you a bonus to restore strength when you're hurt or you get exhausted or the like. Really cool things. Magic, all about memorizing scrolls. Maybe you have some I like this, like the lo-fi and chill type picture here. So that's beats to study to. Really cool stuff. So you get really good when you hum a little song or sing a little song. Just really cool things. Healing. There might be something as nice as having like a little doll that as you break off pieces of it, you heal people. But it takes 3 days to make one of these dolls. So you got to be careful about that. Or you have fortifying food that heals people. So that's pretty good. The thieving stuff was kind of interesting. I really like this first one, the fist thing, because you can like punch a person without them knowing as long as they're distracted. And then you can punch them again before they even realize that it was you that was punching them. Kind of fun things. But they have all these stranger things like, you know, your slippery skipjack where you sweat too much. Or you have a weird flute that, you know, baffles people. Really cool things. Like they have all these little items here, and depending on what of the 4 classes you are, you have different starting gear. And again, there's such beautiful illustrations. Like, look, like of all these little like items here. It's just really cool to see what Munkao has made. Different weapons with different costs and stuff like that. I think it's interesting to have a variety of costs, because like some of these items might be kind of rare in certain areas. Also, like you know, this is a free download, and you know, Munkao would like to know what you think about balancing or money economic pricing. But I think it's kind of interesting to have like a varied economic thing for some of these items. especially considering what region you might be in at the time, because there's so many little islands that you could be traveling to. The armor here is very simple. Heirlooms are things that you can like everyone has like some special item, which I think this list would be nice if it was bigger, but it's really nice to have like this really good heirloom. So you might have like a bottle of delicious fish sauce that never runs out, or you know, you have a garland of 20 never wilting flowers. Really nice things. Then depending on you might have a burden with that, so you might have to feed your heirloom alcohol every 2 weeks just to keep it going. So that's kind of a cool thing. Then we also have just like, you know, playing the game, the rules. Real simple, into the odd, basic rules. Nice things. I would say they have the initiative order where you just roll your deck save to see what you get. Really nice. Exhaustion and rest, getting better, how all that works, especially when you're doing like into the odd. So you can pray. You're never sure if the prayers are going to work, but you can make better offerings, and depending on if the game master wants, you can get blessings. You can roll to see what you get. So that's nice. Then death and legacy. So like they even have like in the rules where like if a character dies, you make a new character, and as soon as you're done, you jump into the action, no matter how unrealistic. That's kind of funny. And you can see what legacy you have. You could be like a sibling, or maybe you're just a completely new existence. So you have nothing, no real connection to the dead character. Kind of cool things. You can retire. There's hirelings, how to recruit a meddler, and why that's good is keeping the guild going, and you get a lot of bonuses for getting new guild members. The spells in here are hecka fun. I think like you can like summon a kickboxer. Great. Control light. Really cool stuff. Just like all these strange like things that gives you an advantage in certain situations. Just really fun, and I think that's so creative. Here we have the food and rations, and this stuff just looks so good. They did such a good job of making the food look so appetizing, sound so good. Stewed mustard greens with whole garlic bulbs. Very yummy things for your vegetable thing. Or you might have a twisted mussel marinated with clemency sauce. Sounds great. Delicious, I bet. And it's just kind of fun that they have all these different rules about having items and cooking with them and stuff like that. And then there's wonderful design notes that they threw in here. Like the 3 pillars centering on Southeast Asia. You also have exploring the region, shared histories, and fluid identities. There's all these different islands and cultures. They're just happening. It's really difficult to be too, I guess, patriotic or what have you, because there's just so many things happening here. Bolstering imagination and fun. It's fun thinking about your magic using bear, who's also you grew up as a thief but is trying to get rid of their wicked past, and they pray to the gods for help and stuff like that. That's a fun little character that you can just make in this game. Fun. It's just so cool seeing what they've come up with, and I look forward to more things by Munkao. I'll try to post a link to this on itch. It's just really fun, and the fact that it's kind of a pay what you'd like, just to test out the playbook. If you do test it out, I would suggest giving notes if you have any thoughts on this very beautifully made introductory early access game. I hope you like Mandala. I know I do, and I can't wait to try to run this.